What is going on out there, peeps? All right, NESARA GESARA, man. Like I said, I've made a lot of NESARA GESARA videos. I've also made a lot of videos called The Great Reset. And the reason why is many people are confusing the two, and I don't want people to get confused between the two. So from time to time, when I'm doing some of my research, what I try to do is go through and prove not only is NESARA GESARA possible, but it's actually already happening. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the so-called rainbow currencies. A lot of people have a lot of different ideas of what it is. I'm going to share with you my idea of what it is. If you're thinking about buying precious metals, please give our friends over at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free ½ ounce of silver. All right, we have Pimpy's Investment Chat, same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we talk about investment opportunities like gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. For those of you who don't have Facebook, I do have Twitter. The link is in the description, so come on over and join. Okay, as most of you know, if you've been following my videos, there's so many different versions of NESARA GESARA, and I'm going to say this again, because this is the difference between when I speak about NESARA GESARA versus what other people talk to you about. As much as I believe about the NESARA GESARA movement, because that's what it is, it's a type of movement, I want to be perfectly clear. There has never been a law that's been passed that's called NESARA GESARA. There's never been a bill that has been passed that's called NESARA GESARA. A bill was introduced, but it was not passed. All right, I know you guys hear all these things about this and that about NESARA GESARA. And then there's many different versions of NESARA GESARA, some very extreme, where you got aliens and stuff in there and stuff like that, and then some more grounded. And the one I picked was this one here, because I can go down this checklist and see if I can prove these things on this list. And what I've been able to do is prove that vast majority of them have already happened. So not only is NESARA GESARA possible, but it's already happening now, and the videos prove that. So when you watch my videos, you go down to the descriptions. Anytime I share information with you guys, I put the links down there so you can go see for yourself. Okay? So that's what this is. Now, I have not been able to prove all of this, but the thing I do want to be able to get across to you guys is this. Whether it's called NESARA GESARA or not, that should not be our focus, because the name of whatever's happening doesn't matter. It's like a debt jubilee and a restoration of our constitutional republic, as well as setting things right around the world. So it is a reset of, to me, it's like good versus evil, if you want to be honest. So you can go to my videos. For those of you who are new to my channel and you're not aware of this, I will show you something, because I do have a lot of NESARA GESARA videos, but I also mix in these ones called The Great Reset. So I have The Great Reset versus NESARA GESARA. That's me pointing out the differences between The Great Reset and NESARA GESARA and how people should not mix these up. So in my description, I do have a link for a playlist for all my NESARA GESARA videos. As you can see, there's a lot of them on there, so that you don't have to go through my entire list of videos trying to pick out which ones are NESARA GESARA. It's already done for you. All right, so whether or not it's called NESARA GESARA, again, should not be the big deal. Whether these things are happening is a bigger deal, okay? So I have, as I go through here, and I've realized that most of this didn't even start happening or hasn't happened until Trump got in office. And that's a big thing to take in consideration. So the one, again, I want to focus on today is we're talking about the new monetary system. Here it is: create new treasury currency, rainbow currencies, backed by gold, silver, platinum, and precious metals. So, when you go out there, there's all kinds of different little blabs about rainbow currencies. I try to find things that make sense. But what I did find was something very interesting. So this article is coming out. It's talking about a currency war that's taken place. And there was 4 scenarios that this person laid out. And one of them is called the rainbow currency. And I'm going to show you it and explain to you why I think this is the rainbow currency. Okay? So it's just, the guy's being humorous. It says in here, the year is 2030, and you need to buy some new sunglasses. You browse through your options online. You use an augmented reality to try on a few pairs. You find one you like, and now it's time to pay. Okay, so here's the funny part, because I love it. It's funny. It says you have 17 options for payment, including the U.S. digital dollar, but you'd rather not support the U.S. government and the President Ivanka Trump, so you decide against the USD. I love that idea, Ivanka Trump. Facebook's Libra is another option, but you have reservations about the new Facebook brain implant, so no thanks. That's actually being spoken about, believe it or not. So's Tesla. Bitcoin, yet you'd rather not part with your digital gold as the price of Bitcoin just hit $500,000. Sunglass Coin, the native currency of this sunglass website, which gives you a 10% discount. Parity Coin, a project coin that seeks to promote gender wage parity. Green Coin, a project that works to combat climate change, and so on, which is interesting. I do think that's interesting because I can see that this is in a direction that we might be going. So you might have some of these, what do you want to call them? Nonprofit organizations creating their own cryptocurrencies in which that you could buy and then a percentage of it goes to the organization to do whatever they want to do. And you can use their coins to buy special things, something along those lines. That's not unrealistic. So, it's kind of funny, this little paragraph, but it gets on down here and this guy's explaining that we're in the currency war. Okay, especially between China and the United States. The one with the most dominant currency controls everything. All right. That makes them the superpower. And as you guys know, lately, there's been a lot of talk about the world wanting to move away from the US dollar as the reserve dollar. We're going to find out more coming up here in October. So again, it goes back and forth, back and forth. I won't keep it on too long. But this is in regards to a book that was written out about the currency war. And here are the scenarios that I think are interesting. All right. It says the first scenario. The US dollar wanes, but no one dominant currency emerges in its place. We have countless currencies to use for every transaction. Birch calls this the rainbow scenario. Scenario 2, China's digital currency gains dominance. It's called the red scenario. Number 3, USA. The US retains dominance with the digital dollar, known as the green scenario. 4, a non-government-backed cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin gains dominance, known as the blue scenario. Now it goes through a bunch of different scenarios on here. All these scenarios are being played out here. And I will leave the link again for you guys to come check this out. But let me show you why I think the rainbow scenario probably makes the most sense. And this might be what they're talking about. It says in here, futurist Brett King, author of the book Bank 4.0, sees the conditions today that could give rise to a system of jumbled currencies. It starts with the protest and the polarization. We've had about 1,000% increase in protests from the years 2000 to the years 2020. We have the highest levels in inequality recorded in U.S. history. And that's very similar to economies like the UK and Australia. They're talking about ours here in the United States as well. He also notes that a clear disconnect between the stock market and the economy. That's because the stock market, gold, silver, commodities are all manipulated. See, in a true pure form of capitalism, doing what it's supposed to do without interference from manipulation, it's a great system to be in. It does a perfect job. But ours has been manipulated, and that's where you're seeing a lot of people unhappy with what's going on. The people that's in the powers to be or in the know seem to benefit from a lot of manipulations. That's not cool. They've also gained a lot of power from that. So it says, how could people protest inequality? How could people express their values, desires for change, and demand for social justice? Potentially through other currencies besides the US dollar, which you're seeing that happen. Other countries are upset about how the United States uses tariffs and sanctions to penalize people. You might find people choosing cryptocurrencies or other mini economies within the global economy, where people say, I'm not going to make an ethical choice with this kind of currency or this kind of platform, which is awesome. This gives people free choice, free will, to choose the currency they want to make stronger. So what that does is it really sets parameters. It forces those countries to do the right things, or their currency loses value based on the input from the world. So if one country is doing good, there's no human rights issues, there's no inequality, everything's peaches and cream. People use that currency more than other currencies. It makes that currency much more stronger. This way, then, citizens around the world have more say so into which currency is the strongest and what it is, which governments and leaders should be punished for bad behavior and rewarded for good behavior. I kind of like that. It says, is this currency a net carbon neutral platform? These are the types of things you can ask. Does this currency fit within the ecosystem that is environmentally sustainable? Is this currency committed to equality and growth in the middle class? Now, this is along the same lines of the push by the Great Reset. The only difference is this particular idea isn't controlled by a group of people who weren't elected, which is what I don't like about the whole currency idea pushed by the Great Reset. In this particular situation, there are multitudes. So you would have, like the other day, I did a thing called like what do you call it, like a Euro die, USD die. So each country makes their own currency. It is put into this rainbow collection of currencies. And when you go to make your purchase, you have the right to choose which currency you want to use. And by doing so, strengthens that currency because the demand for it. I like that. What do you think? I don't think any nation state, any country, any government, any leader should control the values of these currencies. The free market should allow this to happen without any forms of manipulation. I love this idea. Becker offers a darker twist. He conjures up a scenario where the many different currencies are splintered, yes, but it is also the virtual world has been greater prominence than today, and that people withdraw into the virtual world and begin to lose interest in the physical world. So, these types of things, I'm not going to get into this. Let me go down to the third paragraph. The dominant currency on the planet, the currencies of the communities where I live. I don't care about the US dollar anymore because in this scenario, I don't pay taxes. I care about the Reddit dollar, or I care about the IBM dollar. In this world, the nation states begin to crumble a little bit, and we find ourselves in a consistent state of cyber war where our loyalties are no longer national. So that is the downside of this, but maybe we create a type of rainbow currency that the people are allowed to choose that gives it a percentage of power based on the number of times it's selected, a percentage of its its strength or its weaknesses are based on how the government performs, maybe not 100%, so that we don't have these currency wars. So what I like about this idea is it puts the power back into the hands of the people and keeps less control of the power away from the hands of the government. So I like this scenario. I think that's where we're going. They're talking about the SDR basket, which is no good. Again, that only allows a handful of currencies to be the dominant ones, since they're the ones in being considered for the rate that's the SDR uses. Now, the reason why I think this is more realistic, Trump keeps talking about a more level playing field, how we need a currency reset, which we're already in the process of. If you want a real level playing field, so then each country create their own cryptocurrency stablecoin, like the USD stablecoin, China stablecoin. So a percentage is, a calculation that has to take in consideration the number of people in each country, a percentage of the amount of usage for each digital currency. All these things need to be weighed in, and that will reward or punish each particular currency based on the behaviors of the country. I kind of like that idea. It really does put the power back into the hands of the people. What do you think about that idea? It does make it a more level playing field. Everybody starts off equal. What I also want to see in here is if I have a wallet full of currencies and I want to exchange them, take them out of whatever thing that I have, whether it's a wallet or off my ledger or whatever, I want to be able to also exchange it for physical currency that I can get at a bank or somewhere. An asset-backed currency would even be better. So each country would be in the gold standard. We would use what is known as a rainbow currency that people around the world get to choose which ones they want to choose based on, that's their choice. Whether, if they don't like something that a country's doing or that a leader's doing, so they choose the currency, they choose not to support that currency. It would be awesome. And again, this would keep any one world power from running around trying to bully people. If people are against war, people are pissed off. You can understand what I'm saying, how this would be resented by a lot of people. They don't want that kind of power in the hands of people. Governments wouldn't allow it, nor would the powers that be. But I think it's the right move, and I have a feeling that this is what we're heading to. I think this is what the rainbow currency is. It is a basket of currencies that are digital, and the rates are determined based on its usage. Or I should say, there's formulas in there that give it its value. Part of it's based on the number of usage, based on each country's population, their assets, their behaviors, so you can get punished. Do you see what I'm saying? I like this idea. Anyways, I thought this was interesting. I thought I would share it with you. There's other types of scenarios in here, but again, I think if all things are to be considered even, and we want to be on a more level playing field, this rainbow version seems like the one that makes the most sense. I thought this was, I know it's called the rainbow scenario, not rainbow currency, but this to me would be the rainbow currency. Okay, let me know what you think, you guys. Leave a comment, man. Hopefully you guys like this video. This is pretty cool. This scenario I like a whole lot. Again, it's just talk, but that makes the most sense to me, and it appears like a direction that Trump might be heading in. He said several times, a level playing field, go back, which gold, by the way, rainbow currency is talking about precious metals, the real term of rainbow currencies. So it's a mixture of types of precious metals: gold, silver, platinum, copper, the whole 9 yards, nickel. But anyways, I think this makes a better scenario version of a rainbow currency. Let me know what you think. All right, so that's it for now, you guys. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.